Hey everybody, hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend, Labor Day. It was actually kind of raining. Not even kinda. It was 100% raining. It was really weird. So Friday after Labor Day, I was off. I was off Thursday, Friday. It was beautiful. Or before Labor Day. Oh my God. Allergy, sickness, hospital, whatever. And Saturday it rained all day. Matter of fact, it started Thursday because Luke's football practice was canceled, and it kind of in and out Friday, and then Saturday it rained all day. So killed my sails. And then Sunday was 50-50, Monday the same. It wasn't a situation where it wasn't a time where let me adjust this light, guys. It wasn't a time where we we could really go to the pool. And honestly, Luke's been not into the pool lately. He's I keep telling him, I'm like, regardless of the weather, and mind you, Texas has been pretty mild. We had that brutal month in August, or yeah, in August, and it was like 100. It was like whatever. But this past year has had seen less amount of days that have reached 100 since like I don't know, early 2000s. So summer was nice as far as like, yeah, it was hot and you go to the pool. It took a while to cook. Um, there's been a lot of speculation we'll have a quote unquote bad winter. And I say, let's do it. Let's bring it. Let's bring on the cold. Let's bring on some snow. Let's bring on some ice. I don't know what's going on with my freaking YouTube or not YouTube, my light right now. It's actually pretty good, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Um, so that being said, uh, going into Labor Day, like we anticipate, unlike Michigan, where like Labor Day is very definitive, it's the end of summer. After that, kids go back to school. You put the boats away. You start getting ready for the fall and the winter. It's not like that in Texas, but honestly, it feels like that could be the case. So slightly bummed out. I don't want the heat, to be there, but I do want to go to the pool again, looking a little pale. Of course, this light doesn't help. Also, have some sort of allergy, cold remnants of the virus I had in my chest. Who knows what's going on? But you heard that? That was disgusting. I took a bath the other night, guys. Before we get into this, I took a bath. Now, mind you, I don't like baths. I want to get in my shower, and I can take a hot shower. I can just like let that steam just. But right here, and if you guys are watching, you can see just this giant pain, and it's been that way for 2 weeks. Just it hurts so bad. It's like I need someone to like get up in it. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. And I was like, I'm gonna take a bath, and I'm gonna use these new like bath salts that we got at work. They were Day of the Dead bath salts, so that caught my attention. But it was like a honey type. And baths are just such a pain in the butt. Like, I don't want to take a bath. You know what I'm saying? Like, number one, I don't want to. Number two, what a lot of work. Like, aren't you supposed to take a bath to relax? But you gotta fill the bathtub up with the right water. You gotta put your Epsom salts, your bath bombs, your awesome Day of the Dead honeysuckle, relaxing, whatever, in the bathtub. And then you chill in it and you're chilling and you're relaxing. But then you gotta get out. It's unlike a shower you shut off and let it drain. You gotta get out, you gotta let it drain forever. And then you should probably like do a little rinse, do a little wipe of all the nasties. Maybe you don't do it till the next day. But it's work, man. It's anyway. So I decided to do it though because I hadn't had a bath since I had kidney stones a year ago, and then before that, I couldn't tell you the last time I took a bath. And It's buzzing in my ear. I will tell you that it was awesome. It definitely relaxed me. I sweat out a lot of stuff. Did not do anything with this crunching in this part of my back, but it was nice. So I did that. That was my moment. Um, and now here we are. We're diving into September, where the busy time of year comes. The extra stress these next 72 hours. Well, not really. I'm off, but the next week or two. I have a lot of. I'm back. I'm back to having some stress, but this is kind of some of it's really kind of like a good stress. There are a lot of fun things happening at work. There's a lot of events at work. There's a lot of things to plan for. That stuff is normal, and that stuff's fine. On the financial side, that's never good. You got Luke's birthday. I still got to buy him school stuff, and then we're getting into Halloween, and then Thanksgiving. It's like Christmas time, and so that is like, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, boom. So on the financial stuff, it sucks. Kind of going through and looking at the budget and going, okay, Brandon, you can't have 15 pumpkin spice lattes in a week. You can't. I know you want to. You can't. You got to have like one or two, or buy the Stoke cold brew pumpkin spice for your house, which I did, and pick the day that you can drink coffee every day at home. And if you go and get coffee, then just get coffee. But you can only have that pumpkin spice. And it's tough, I'd be fiending, you start getting that pumpkin spice. I get that itch, I'm like a meth head out there, dude. I'm knocking over all the Frisco moms in line, like, psh, get out of here. I know you're going to your kid's soccer match. Psh, Yeah, I know you just dropped your kid off at school and hubby's at work, and you're getting your iced venti pumpkin spice. Girl, get out of my way with your Ugg boots. But so tighten up the budget a little bit. I guess I don't have to worry about like going out on dates anymore, right? Because that's done. That girl I was with, she's probably gonna listen to this maybe and be like, bro. But you know what? When you're with me, you're a subject of my conversation. So, yeah, that came to an end, man. Kind of sucked. I'll be honest with you. I don't. And then somebody asked me, what did you want or what did you expect? I expect nothing, ever, right? What did I want? I don't know. I don't think that's bad to say. I told my buddy, I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, that's a problem. No, it's not a problem. I'm a 46-year-old dad, trying to just do my best and make it, still dealing with like aftermath of stupid things and moving forward and trying not to do even more stupid things, right? And sometimes that doesn't help. And, just, you know, um, I have priorities, I have obligations, and I have passions and things I do want to do and don't want to do. So I don't think it's bad to say I don't know what I want. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a bad thing. So I did the best thing possible, which was roll with it, right? That's what you do. And I think it was really good for a while. I actually think that, God, it was 6, 7 months, maybe longer. I know it's not a long time, guys, but that's more than like we go out on occasion, you know? Everything from the conversations to the way we hung out, like it, we vibed probably way more than I anticipated with the age gap, right? Yes, there was an age gap. I know. Nothing Robloxy. And in talking to her, like I obviously learned a lot about, well, besides her culture and all that, but like learned a lot about who she is and kind of what she deals with at that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, she could go out and find a dude that is, 30, and maybe they're in that similar whatever. But finding out that her mentality is very similar to people that aren't doing what 25-year-old, 26-year-olds, 27, 28, 29, 30-year-olds might be doing and where they're at, that makes sense, So I'm not going to dive into that part of the relationship. I'm just saying, like, trying to paint a picture. But something came up and it posed the conversation, which I knew it would pose the conversation. And that was about kids. No. She wasn't asking like, hey, do you want a baby? No. But when you're dating somebody who is still in that potential to have a baby, yes, I know I can make one. I don't want to. With the right vessel, woman. But I'm saying like we're with women, it's vastly different, So she necessarily didn't not want to have a baby, but also didn't want to have. Like in her mind, it was like, this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm staying. But that's where I come in and I have to think beyond this. And this has happened once or twice before, guys. This is well, once before, for sure. Um, so obviously there's a pattern. But, you know, that conversation came up. And my instant thing is, and it was a really good conversation too. Like, I have to say, the way that we had that conversation, the way it ended, the way that we kind of called it quits, probably the best way possible. I mean, it definitely sucks. Let make no mistake. I'm not happy about the situation, but um, I think it ended the best way possible. Nobody got like nobody was getting ghosted. Nobody was like just getting their feels hurt. I mean, we might have feelings about it, but you weren't getting like, oh my god, this guy doesn't call me back. This girl just dipped. I don't know where she went. None of that. No arguments. Like it was just like, dare I say, the most responsible, mature conversation we had about a breakup. Like, wow, chalk one up. But yeah, so it was really good, but it ended because the question of kids came up. And when you have somebody who's going, I don't know. Like, I never want to rule it out, but I never thought that I'd have to think about it. And mind you, she brought it up. But um, it's a no for me. I'm out. And that's what I said. I can't be with somebody that could potentially want kids when I'm not having kids. I'm 46, about to be 47. I have a 7, about to be 8-year-old. I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm already an old dad. I don't need to be an older dad. Um, and it's also not fair to her or that person involved to get deeper into the relationship, potentially grow that relationship, bond stronger, and then that person wants to have kids, and now we're ending it, and there's even more on the table. So that happened. So I guess I save money that way, right? It sucks, but it got me thinking, and it got me talking to my friends and other things in life, just kind of all coming together. What do you like? It is hard for people to date, to find somebody, to whatever at any age. I'm convinced. It does get harder in certain age demographics, right? 100%. But I think when you're in your 20s, you're having fun, right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 25. You're having fun. I'm not saying there aren't some people that are looking for that serious, and I'm not saying that there aren't that people looking for that next level. For the most part, just have fun. I wish I had a water. I just kicked my cat, not on purpose. I moved my leg and I didn't realize he was there. Sorry, buddy. Just kick you right in the head, like, ow, brain damage. Um, but I don't have my water. Um, like they're looking for that. Like some people are looking for those things, but I think you're just ultimately having fun. Like if you go back to like think about like your 20s and who you were dating, I think the vast majority of you were, maybe some of you were in that road to marriage, but I think most of you were just like, yeah, I'm with this girl. Oh, it didn't work out. That really sucks. But then like 6 months later, 3 months later, 2 days later, you know what I mean? Like, or you're just out there having fun and whatever happens, happens. But I think that has even gotten harder nowadays because people have changed in what their expectations are. People have changed for what they want. People have changed for what is being presented to them. I mean, she's like, dude, these guys suck, which is why I'm with this old fart. But then you look at the challenges that people make, like in their 40s, bruh. No, I'm not saying that like that's old. Like 40's old. Okay, I'm not going like, oh my God, you're old. But what I am saying is the game is old. It's you are settled into what you want, what you do, what you like, and it's very hard for you to, for people to adapt to somebody else. Throw that out the window. Who are you going to meet? Who are you going to meet? People are so mean. Like for real, people are so mean. I mean, it's to the point where it's like, I blame Amazon, man. I blame Amazon. I bought a pair of shoes for Luke off of Amazon. Cool looking shoes, right size. Maybe not a name brand. Okay, who cares? He's got those. But these were cool. These are like ones he could wear to school. And then, God forbid, if they, after 6 months, well, if he doesn't grow out of them, but they turn into play shoes, go to the park, whatever, run to the store. They were a good price. They look cool. He picked them out. He put them on. He goes, Dad, they fit great. Cool. Wore them to school one day. They're squeakers. They got squeaky. Well, that's annoying. And the bottoms, the sole, whatever material is on there was getting hot and sticky. One melting, I was like, what? Returned them the same day. Wore them once, returned them, got my refund back that same day. Boom, bought them better shoes that cost $15 more. They're fine. I blame Amazon because I can return anything within like an hour. So you go on a date and you meet somebody and you're talking, and God forbid you say the wrong thing, or maybe that person shot you. Like, I'm good. You know what, man? I gotta go. Boom, pay the tab, leave. No opportunity, no chance to really dive in to see what's happening. You're just done. And swipe left, return it back to Amazon. So it's hard because if you don't hit these check marks and these benchmarks and these parameters, you're already shot down. Okay. But then the older you get, the more baggage you get, right? The more tear and the wear and tear on the tires, the more things the experiences you have that have created or potentially jaded you, but also maybe created your opinions on everything. And so you're going to be guarded, and people should be guarded. There's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't just open yourself up the minute you meet somebody. I think there's an opposite end of the spectrum for that. But then people are guarded because they don't want to get hurt, and they don't want to, they realize, oh my God, 9 times out of 10, this is going to be a waste, but I'm here. So there's already this little planted seed of negativity. And then, God forbid, you talk about something. Oh, I don't have to talk about that. Oh, I don't know you that well. I'm just trying to get to know you. Well, I don't really like that. Okay. Mean. Look, there's 40-year-old women are mean, bro. Dudes are dumb. Okay. I'm not doing a pod on that. I'm just saying, most 40-year-old women that I've run into, I'm like, yeah, she's kind of cool. You start talking, God forbid, you ask, hey, you want to go grab a cup of coffee? You want to go grab a drink? Whatever. You want to go, dude, you want to go get lunch? Oh, no, I'm not dating anybody. I'm just hungry. I was just hungry. I'm not trying to date you. I just thought you were cool, and I'm hungry, and that's all we do. That's cool. At least we had a good lunch together, right? Oh, no, I don't do that. Oh, you don't lunch. Got it. Just say I'm a troll or something. Like, why you gotta lie to me? They're mean, dude. And then it's like, well, they're mean because they've been through everything. Well, you don't think I have? So I have to cater to your meanness and your baggage and your uglyisms. But if I do it, then I'm just, self-centered. And what did I do here? I think I just trimmed that a little too much, buddy. Like, I'm self-centered. I'm egotistical. I'm just a man. So you duplicate a situation like that. You met somebody younger, and then you have the other set of problems. Like, why? So then you wonder, why even bother? Why? Well, what are you supposed to do? Because I can't even hang out with the few friends I have because of my schedule very much, let alone try to date somebody. And I think that turns people. It's so weird. It's this vicious cycle that I see in this world of how broken people are. I'm all for positivity. I'm all for making change, being there for somebody, understanding that the situation that you're in, whether you got there yourself or circumstances led you there, because sometimes they both intertwine, whether that's financially, emotionally, physically, whatever, that it is just it's that situation and there is a way out. And you'll get there. And it might not be the cleanest way out. It might not be the cleanest path. And it might be ugly. But if you're ready to lock it down, like you say today is Wednesday. I'm done. I've done that on the workout. Okay, I haven't worked out much last week. I've been eating kind of crappy. Tomorrow's Monday in the gym. I really just did that because I've had a couple weeks where between the overnights and inventory, and I'm like, I am not on a healthy pattern. Boom, stop, kill it. I'm not really drinking, so I'm not worried about that. I mean, the last thing I had was at my 90s party weeks ago. Um, so I'm good. I don't care that Oktoberfest is around the corner. I have zero desire to drink Oktoberfest beers. I'm not even going to Oktoberfest this year. It's weird. I know. I'm just not. I'm still going to have a pumpkin beer, one or two, because I'm basic, but the desire is not there. That's a different story. So, I said that though. So you can say that no matter what day it is and go, today's the day. Doesn't mean the results are going to happen right away. Doesn't mean it's going to be pretty, but you can say that. You pray, you focus, you move on, whatever. You got it. But I think that the vast majority of this people of this world of all ages are broken. And I think a lot of it has to do with that longing for connection, for relationships. Life is tough. And I see it. And I see it in relationships. I talk to people that maybe just got married. I talk to people that are just started dating. I talk to people that just came out of a massive marriage. I got a friend who's like, she's like, I'm done. I'm good with being by myself. I got my kid and that's it. And I hear her and I respect that because I feel that way. It's so much easier, you know? It's not about the physicality. That's probably the easiest thing in the world to get, right? It's so much easier to just, you come home on a Thursday night and nobody's there, whether it's good or not. If you just want to sit on the couch and binge watch Kim's Convenience, New Girl for the 5,000th time, or, you're watching the new episode of Peacemaker, like, dude, cool. Or, whatever. You can do it. I'm going to just jump on this Fortnite real quick and play by myself because Luke's not here. You can do that. You don't have to worry about it. I'm not saying you can't do that in a relationship, but it throws a different game out. I get it. And you're not hurting anybody. You're conserving money. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but you do exciting stuff. So, maybe you go on a trip, like maybe you go to a concert. Maybe you do have those 90s bars. So it's not that you don't do anything. It's just spread further out financially, obligations, things like that. But after a while, you do at times feel like maybe something might be missing. Maybe you need to see your friends a little bit more, but when half of them, friends, don't text you, and I'm guilty of that too, so I can throw myself in there. Don't text you at all until something happens, an event. You play the dangerous game of let's see how long it takes for this person to reach out. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to play that game. I was talking to the girl I was dating about that. She's like, oh my God, I will reach out to my friends. And she's like, and mind you, she's younger. I will reach out to my friends and text them, be like, what up? Boom, this. And I won't hear from for a couple days. And then they're like, oh, and I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I wanted to do something, but now I didn't hear from you. So I planned it. And now it's going to be 3 weeks. And she's like, I get it. Everybody's busy. But that's why phones are so easy to text. They choose not to. And she's right. They choose not to. And some people are really horrible at it. And I appreciate that and respect that. But it's because it's you get wrapped up in your own little world. You get wrapped up in your own little processes and procedures and routines, and it's okay. We all do it, but then we don't connect. And then that other person feels like I'm not connected. I'm guilty of that. I don't reach out to my friends as much as I should. I try to do quick check-ins to let them know, like, hey, what up? How was your trip? This, that. But there are people I haven't talked to in months, people I haven't talked to in years. I know we're still cool, but it sucks because it's like, maybe I did reach out and you didn't reach out back. And I think that that's why we start thinking like, okay, you look for that companionship, But then everybody's coming with this crap. And you're like, oh, God. And these simple conversations turn into like, you're applying for a job, you know? I think the world is full of a lot of broken people. And I think a lot of it has to do with that connection. I don't know what happened. I think age, times, technology, COVID. Yeah, I'm gonna blame COVID for a lot of things, man. It gutted us. They silenced us for a year. We had the aftermath, but look at that. They silenced. They took people's lives away. I mean, there are kids that didn't get to experience their last year of high school. Oh, well, it sucks. No, dude, you don't know the after effects of that. You know how crucial it is. Kids that didn't get to go to school, didn't get to go on family trips. You were isolated. Drinking went up. I think things like went downhill before that, but I look back at that moment and I think that was like a turning point for connection and relationships. Why do you think like social media exploded and Zoom calls and TikTok exploded so much because of COVID, and so many content creators started making money because of that? Look, you're looking at one, dude. I made so much money during the couple years from COVID to the couple years after. Now it's not as much, but so much. Stupid. Getting like $600 deposits, $700 deposits of movie reviews and writing and stupid stuff. I felt like one of those singers from like back in the day where like you wrote a jingle and every now and then there's a check in the mail for like $20. It just keeps popping in. You don't know where it comes from, but you just take it. But I mean, like, now we are in such a weird thing with politics and life and money and stress. Like, people don't want to deal with it. Like, the minute you say something that could be remotely different than them, they're out. I think people are broken. And I know that. I know that because think about this. I'm the type of guy, you say whatever you want about me. Okay. I'm not going to allow it to go to a certain level. And I'm going to call you out on it. And I will. And I have. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't really care. I'm going to do it. Okay, I've done it with people that I allegedly care about. I've done it with people that I used to care about. I don't care who you are, where you are. I'm going to let you get to a certain point, but there's going to be a line, and when you cross that line, I'm calling you out. Otherwise, you want to go around and be like, well, I don't like the way Brandon looks. Brandon misshaved his beard. He's got this weird thing on his head that he's trying to get removed. He got fat. He's short. He's just this little short Italian guy. I don't like the way he talks. I don't give a shit. Okay, whatever. You're not saying anything that I care about. Oh, he's stupid. Oh, he thinks he's this. Or, oh my God, you know that when he was with so and so, he did this years ago. But truth or not, when it comes to a certain line, I'm going to call you out. And I'm not going to stop until you realize that you're not going to do that again. Period. But think about the majority of the people. They can take it. I don't care what you say about me. You suck. Okay. Yes, words hurt, negative hurts, bullies, blah, blah, blah. But the majority of the people can take that. They can be like, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Move on with my day. Doesn't faze them. Maybe it does. And I think it does in a different way. But think about how many times somebody has given a compliment to a stranger, to maybe somebody you know, and it pierces them. It hurt. It just melts them in their eyes and their heart and their soul. Simple compliments. Hey, you look awesome today. Like, you look so good. That's an awesome color on you. You should wear that more often. Boom. Psh, radiant. Almost crying. You see those TikTok videos of people handing strangers notes, which I think is great. Whether they're doing it for views or not, doesn't matter. The results are great. Handed a guy sitting on a bench, drinking his coffee, hands him a note, walks away. The note says, today's just today, it's not the rest of your life. Guy could have been happy, just drinking his coffee. He reads that note and the camera sees his face. Why? Because every single person is going through something, or every single person just needs that boost once in a while. Because we don't hear it. We don't hear it. We hear negative so much that we're like, and I think it chips away at the armor. So when a compliment does come in, it's like, oh my God, it fuels you. I saw this little girl with her mom shopping. She had her little dress on, and she was just like sitting there. And I was like, Granny, you're at a grocery store. You're probably tired. And I said, hi, Mom, talked to her about a couple things. Like the girl's like, oh my God, that's the prettiest dress I've ever seen. You look awesome. Boom. Face lights up. Attitude change. Why? Well, she should hear that she's pretty. I think every woman should hear that she's pretty at some point. You know? I mean, I know there's some ugly ones out there. I'm sorry. There's some creatures from the Black Lagoon. But every little girl should hear she's pretty in a dress, man. Come on. Changes it. Nope. Maybe that's why she wore the dress. Maybe she didn't even know that's why she wore the dress. She just wanted to feel pretty. So let somebody tell her that that's not her mom or dad or brother or whatever, grandpa. You know, and you see it. Man, sometimes Luke says some things to me and I'm like, God, whew. Makes me tear up. I have to look away, makes me cry. Because maybe I don't realize that I need to hear it. Maybe I'm having a bad day as a parent or as an adult or as just me. Because he doesn't know the stress and the things that are here. Because nobody does. Because nobody really cares. You know? Let's be real. But I see it. And I think that all ties into like dating and relationships and why so many people say, hey, you know what? I'm good. I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. I'm just going to be single, which there's nothing wrong with. The problem with that is I bet money that 7 out of 10 people that say that have moments where they're like thinking about how could I find somebody? What do I want? Because now maybe you're at the age where you're like, I've been through everything I don't want. What do I want? And it's okay if you don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't think that I'm in a position to do anything other than what I was doing. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that what I just came out of was fun. And it was cool to meet somebody that was very like, I mean, yeah, she was cool. She was cool. Now, if she was just a little bit older and didn't want kids, or didn't want kids at all. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I hope she's awesome. I mean, she hit me up like last week, so that's cool. Checking on me and stuff like that because I was in the in the hospital and all that for like a couple hours, guys. Let's calm down. I already talked about it. And I got no bad feelings. Like I got nothing negative to say. It does suck though. I mean, obviously you get used to that and you like that person for a multitude of reasons besides just the way they look. And, you move on. But those lengths of move on moments get longer in certain people's lives because they start to question things and they start to say, I don't need this. Because we're all broken to some degree. And it's okay. You can be okay with just kind of being a little messed up. And you can be okay with realizing that I don't have this piece of the puzzle. I can't cram this. I'm not Winston. I can't put this puzzle piece in here because it doesn't fit. So I'm just going to fit this picture and then maybe I'll get a new puzzle later and I'll have some new pieces that I can knit. Maybe it's a bigger puzzle. But right now my puzzle is only 120 pieces. That's it. I can't fit 121 in there. Maybe next time I'll get a table puzzle and I'll be able to fit a lot more in. I think people don't understand that. So they start to think there's something wrong with them. And yeah, maybe you have these great days and these great positive moments. And maybe you are just sitting on the bench having a cup of coffee. But maybe you do need to hear something good. to realize just how messed up you are, you know? Like it's weird that a compliment has so much effect on people, that positive things have so much effect on people because they don't hear them very much. They don't have positive situations very much. But a negative, they can just be like, which is hurtful, true hurtful words. But that's become your norm. That's become your fuel. That's crazy. And you see it all the time with kids, with people, with strangers. Like, what? I just think it's hard, man. I just think it's sometimes I just think like sometimes I do think it's pointless after a certain age. Oh my god, ugh. Um, I don't want to be like, oh, you just give up. It's not giving up. Maybe you're just adapting to who you are, you know. Because I mean, think about how hard it is to do friendships. Imagine like dating somebody. I barely have time to do this show, let alone date. I don't know how I did it. And then you know, inevitably you think about not everyone wants to get married, not everyone wants to go like move in together, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like you could be with somebody and never move in with them. You could be with them for years, and you guys still have this great relationship. You see each other enough, but you still have those moments that you go home by yourself. I think that's wonderful. I know people like that. Very few, but I know people like that, and I think it's great. I think it's when people try to force something that it's stupid. It's just stupid. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? I mean, I think I'm right. I always think I'm right. But I think that it's a lot harder out there for people to get in a situation than they realize of all ages. It's not just a over 40, under 30. It's spreading out. And I'm curious as to how the next wave of things are going to go. I think that's why you see people do, I don't want to say extremes. I also think it's a culture thing here in the United States. I think our love culture is crap. I think a lot of our culture in the United States is crap right now. If you want me to be honest with you, the values, the honesty, I think that we have been like petulant children and need to just get back on track here as a country, but that's a whole different issue. But I think it trickles down to these things. I mean, the attitude and the way that people are, it's crazy to me. So I think that's why you see people that are like, I met my wife in France. Well, I don't know if that's a good example, but you know, I'm not saying that other countries don't have the same problems, but there's a value thing and a respect thing and a tradition thing that even if everything else is out of whack, they still hold those true. We don't see that a lot. And I think that's a problem. And it explains a lot. So anyway, next week, coming back. Got some good stuff next week. Don't miss it. I don't even remember what it is because I already recorded it. I just moved it. Whatever was going to be this week, I moved it to next week. And I don't remember what it is. Guess I should look back at that. But it's a good one. No cornfields, no Ohio. But we're getting close to spooky season stuff. So you know, come October, we about to get spooky. Got some really cool ones for October. I'm so stoked. But in the meantime, we'll trudge along through September here and see what's going on. All right, guys. Later.